I'm going to teach you the 6 major syllable types. Some programs teach anywhere from 6 up to 8 different syllable types. The important piece to understand here is that the 6 major ones are shared between all different programs. So no matter what phonics program or what reading curriculum you're using, these 6 major ones you'll often encounter across different curriculum. An important piece of this is that for your students who are learning to read multi-syllabic words, usually 2nd grade and above, they're able to look at the word, determine where the syllable breaks are, and based on the syllable, they're determining the vowel sound that they make. This is a piece that's critical when we're looking to develop fluency and automaticity with phonics skills, and all learners need to know how to do it. Some students just learn how to do it naturally, though, and don't need direct instruction in these skills. Students that are struggling to decode those multisyllabic words, direct instruction in the syllabication process can help them determine the vowel sound that should be used in order to blend the syllables together to create the new word. So what I'm going to do is show you those big 6, and from there we can talk about how we divide syllables and words. The first type and the most common type that's in 50% of words in the English language, either single syllable or multisyllabic, is what we call the closed syllable. A closed syllable has one vowel, and it's closed in by a consonant. So in this syllable, for example, which is also a one-syllable word, we know it's closed because I have one vowel closed in by a consonant. When that vowel is closed in by a consonant, it makes its short vowel sound. So in this word, I'll expect the vowel to say it, and this word would be bit. So type 1, closed. Okay? Type 2 is open. An open syllable has one vowel, just as in a closed syllable, but it is not closed in. Therefore, the vowel is going to say its name or its long sound. In an open syllable, we'll always hear a long vowel sound. We can see an open syllable at the end of a word or end of a syllable type. So we had a closed syllable, short vowel sound, closed in by a consonant. An open syllable, one vowel, left open and says its name or its long vowel sound. The third type of syllable is a vowel consonant E. In the vowel consonant E syllable, we have one vowel followed directly by a consonant, followed directly by an E, which is silent. So in this syllable type, I often ask the students, pretend to touch the vowels. And when my finger makes a V, I know that I'm a V, C, E syllable type. When this happens, I hear the long vowel sound of the first vowel and the consonant sound with no sound for the E directly following it. So this is an instance where I'll have 2 vowels, but only one of them is making a sound. And we'll see that again later when we talk about vowel teams. Okay, awesome. The next syllable type is consonant LE syllable. A consonant LE syllable can have a vowel, one vowel, or it can have a vowel team. But the syllable that we're talking about is always at the end of a word or the end of a multisyllabic word, or the word if it's a compound word, but very rarely. It will always include a consonant and an LE. What we're really hearing in this syllable is the consonant and almost a quiet vowel sound in between. So for example, in this word, I'll split the 2 syllables because each syllable has to have its own vowel. This will be an open syllable because it's not closed in. So this would be by. And this second syllable would be till, T-L-E. What I'm really hearing is almost a short vowel sound, but not quite. So we teach it as a syllable type because this has to stay together as one chunk because I hear a vowel sound kind of morphed in between it. So I pronounce this till, by till. This is a made-up word, but the consonant LE syllable will always contain the consonant with an LE at the end. So that's type 4. Type 5 is what we call a vowel team. This is when we have two vowels that come together to make one sound. Sometimes the sound is an expected sound, which is what we call a vowel digraph. E comes together, and I hear the long E sound when that happens. Sometimes I will have double vowels or vowel teams that come together that make an unexpected sound. For example, O, I would expect says O, but it actually doesn't. It says oo or and that will happen. When that happens, we call that a vowel diphthong because it's making an unexpected sound. Either way, both of these are considered vowel teams or a double vowel, depending on what program you're using, and we give that its own syllable type. We do that because when we determine how many vowels are in the syllable and we're pointing to it, it's two vowels standing together and they make one sound. So we learn them as a team and we reference that syllable type as a vowel team. So far we've learned that closed is one vowel, closed in by a consonant. Open is one vowel, left open, saying its long sound. Vowel consonant E has a vowel directly followed by a consonant and then a silent E in which the vowel is saying its long sound or its name. A consonant LE syllable, which is just the final syllable in which you have a consonant directly followed by an LE every time. A vowel team in which we have two vowels standing directly next to each other making one sound and working as a team. And the final of the 6 major syllable types is R-controlled. An R-controlled syllable has a vowel that is controlled by the R. So you'll see this in IR, you'll see this in ER, UR, OR, AR. In any of these combinations of letters within a word, that will be an R-controlled syllable type. We give it its own syllable type because within the R-controlled, the vowel is not making an expected sound. In this word, if I did not notice this as an R-controlled, I might try and say b-I-erd, be-erd. Our voice does not want to make the short sound with that R controlled. It morphs it a little bit, and so what we hear for this sound is which is like ER or UR, bird. So this is what we call an R controlled syllable. Sorry, it's hard to see my board here. Okay, so these are the 6 main syllable types. There's a few more syllable types that some programs talk about. One is the vowel diphthong, so that would be those vowels that are making kind of an unexpected sound. O, a W, a U. These would be what we call diphthongs because they're not making the long sound of the vowel. Some also teach the schwa as its own syllable type, which is where we would hear like the sound for an A in an open syllable, or the I sound for an E, for example, in the word mitten. That's a more complicated syllable type and typically just an exception to the rule. But if you know these 6 main syllable types, you'll be able to look at most words and pull them apart and decode them.